In this video, we will discuss about chapter 6 lines and angles. So first we will discuss basic terms and definitions of lines and angles. Observe what is the first point? Line segment. First point is line segment. And what is the line segment? It is having two endpoints. Line segment is having two endpoints. A and B are fixed point. Its length is fixed. We cannot move towards the left and towards the right. Fixed length having what? Line segment. But what is the line? Line segment and line both are the different, in which we are having fixed point, two endpoints we are having, but in which we are not having endpoints. We can go indefinitely towards the left and towards the right. No fixed length. That is what? Line. Once we are having fixed length, that is the line segment. And it is what? Notation. How we will represent line segment of AB? This is what? Bar. Line segment AB. This is the notation. And what will be the notation of line? This is the notation of line. This is what? Line XY and represented as. Now third one point is this one, ray. Ray is the different from line segment and line. Line segment having two endpoints. Line segment having two endpoints. But in the line we are not having any endpoints. Clear? But in the ray, observe, in the ray we are having one endpoint and only one endpoint. P is the endpoint, fixed point. But towards the right we can go indefinitely. Infinitely we can go. Infinity we can reach. Its length is not fixed. One side it is fixed point, but towards the right we can go indefinitely. Clearly? So how we will represent this one? This is the ray PQ. So its notation will be this one. This is the symbol. Clear? Ray PQ. Clear? So first 3 points, line segments having two endpoints. Line is having no endpoints. We can go indefinitely towards the left and towards the right. But ray is having one endpoints and one side we can move indefinitely. Indefinite. Clear? And all notations are there. This is line segment AB, ray PQ. This is line XY. Clear? Now after these we are having next point, collinear point. Observe, collinear and non-collinear. What if three or more points lie on the same line? This is the line and 3 points A, B, C are 3 points. 3 and more points. Observe, we are having 3 and more points and all points are on a line, lie on a line, same line. 3 or more points lie on the same line. That is called what? Collinear points. But in which A, B, C 3 points, but only 2 points A and B are what? Lie on this line. So we can say A, B, C are not collinear points. Once all points lie on the same line, that is called collinear points, otherwise non-collinear points. Getting or not? Collinear points means all points, all 3 or more points lie on the same line, are called collinear points, otherwise non-collinear points. Clear? Next one is the intersecting lines and parallel lines. Observe, Very interesting. Intersecting and parallels. Parallel lines never. They are what? Lines. They are what? Lines. They are moving left and right indefinitely. Lines having no fixed length. Clear? So PQ and XY are parallel line. Why they are parallel? Once we increase both lines towards the left, they never cut. They never intersect to each other. They are never having any common point. We can increase towards the left or we can also increase towards the right. They never cut to each other. They never intersect. They are having no common point. So we can say both PQ and XY are what? Parallel lines. And how we will represent parallel? PQ is parallel of XY. What is the meaning? This vertical lines. What is the meaning? Parallel. PQ is parallel of XY. Clear? Two lines will be parallel once we increase towards the left or towards the right. They are not cutting to each other. They are not intersecting. They are called what? Parallel lines. But intersecting line having what? A common point. What? Intersecting. This AB and CD are intersecting. They are having one common point where they are cutting, intersecting. So intersecting line having what? Common point. Like PQ and RS. Once we increase PQ and this is also going to be increased, then they are cutting there. It means they are intersecting. So they are what? Intersecting line. So intersecting lines are having common point, but parallel lines are having no common point. Clear? So intersecting lines are having common point, but parallel lines are having no common point. This is the basic definition. So we completed these points. Observe. Now next one is what? Angles. Again I am revising. Lines. These all points are linked to lines. So line is having this one. This is line. It is having no end points. We can move towards the left indefinitely and towards the right indefinitely. No fixed end point. But in the line segment we are having fixed end points. Two end points we are having. Fixed length we are having. But in the ray we are having one end point. We can move only one side. One is fixed. This is what? Ray. And collinear points means once three or more points lie on the same line, they will be what? Collinear. Otherwise non-collinear. Like this is not on this line, so we can say ABC are collinear, non-collinear point, not collinear, non-collinear points. Parallel lines having no common point, but intersecting line are having one common point. Clear? Minimum one common. Intersecting lines are having common point. Clear? Now angle. How we will define angle? Angle is formed when two rays. Observe. Already we studied rays. Rays is what? Ray is having one end point. So like this, like this one, we are having two rays formed when two rays originate from the same end point. Like observe, AB and BC, BA and BC are two rays, and they both rays are originating from B. This ray and this ray both are originating from B. So it is formed when two rays originate from the same endpoint. This ray having endpoint this one, for this ray endpoint is this one. If two rays endpoints originate from the same point, two rays originate from the same point, then they are making what? Angle. So it is formed when two rays originate from the same point, same end point. This ray and this ray end point is this one, end point is this one, and so both rays are making what? Angle. Clear? So what we can say, angle is what? When two rays originate from the same end point, we are getting angle. So what is its name? Angle ABC. So B is what? Angle. So we can say this is the symbol of angle. Angle ABC. Clear? This is what? One ray is this one and one is this one. Two rays originating from B, so we can say this is the angle ABC is its name. Now types of angle. So how we are getting the angles? Once two rays originate from their end points, then we are getting angle. Different types of the angles we are having. First one, we already know these things. First one is the acute angle. What? Acute angle. Acute angle, observe, this is 90 degree, first quadrant, 90 degree, but below 90, x is greater than 0 and less than 90. 0 to 90 degree, in between what we are getting? Acute angle. So this is what? Acute angle. This is what? Right angle. It means this angle y will be what? 90 degree. Once angle is 90 degree, then we are getting right angle. Below 90 and above 0, what angle we are getting? Acute angle. Above the 90, observe, this is the 90, this is what? Straight line, and this is what? Straight line. Straight line, this is the originating point. This ray and this ray, so they are making what? One angle. And what angle this one? This is the straight angle, and straight angle is what? 180 degree. 180 degree is called straight angle. So this is straight angle, this is 90 degree. 90 to 180 we are getting obtuse angle. First one is acute, below 90, 90 degree, right angle. Above 90 and below 180, what angle we are getting? Obtuse angle. Now next one is reflex angle. This is what? Straight angle. This is straight angle, 180 degree. Above this one and below this one. Above 180 and below this one, what angle we are getting? This R is what? Greater than 180, and R is what? Greater than 180. R is what? Greater than 180 and less than 360. What angles we are having? Reflex angle. Reflex angle is what? Reflex angle is what? Greater than 180, greater than 180 and below 360. This is 360. 360 is what? Complete angle is what? Complete angle is 360. So this straight line is what? Making 180 degree. Above 180 and below 360, what angle we are getting? Reflex angle. Reflex angle. So different types of the angles we are having there. Already we studied these things. So angle is what? Once two rays originate from the same endpoints, two rays BA and BC are two rays. Both rays are originating from this point, and originating point are making what? Angle. Clear? Acute angle below 90, greater than 0 and below 90. 90 degree angle is what? Right angle. Above 90 and below, greater than 90 and below 180, less than of 180. Less than of 180, what angle we are getting? Obtuse angle. 180 degree we are getting straight angle, and above 180 and below 360 we are getting a reflex angle, and complete angle is what? 360 degree. Clear? So now complementary angle and supplementary angle. Observe, both are easy. Complementary means two angles whose sum is 190 degree. Two angles, we are having two angles, and sum of both angles will be what? 90 degree. Then we are saying what? Complementary. Two angles, sum is 90 degree, then they are called what? Complementary angles. If two angles whose sum is 180 degree, sum is 180, two angles whose sum is 180 degree, they are called supplementary angle. Two angles whose sum is 90 degree, they are called what? Complementary. Complementary means sum of two angles will be what? 90 degree. Supplementary means sum of two angles will be what? 180 degree. Clear? So you should know these things. Complementary means sum of two angles will be 90 degree. Supplementary means sum of two angles will be 180 degree. Now important point is this one, adjacent angles. What about the adjacent angle? Two angles will be adjacent when, observe, two angles are adjacent if they are having a common vertex, a common arm. Observe, two angles like this angle and this angle, both are adjacent angle. Why? Because they are having this, one angle is this one and one angle is this one. Both are having common vertex. This is B. B is what? Vertex. This angle and this angle both are having common vertex and common arm. For this angle BD, for this angle BD. What? BD is common for the both angles. So two angles will be adjacent when they are having common vertex and common arm. Common vertex and common arm and their non-common arms on different sides of a common arm. When they will be adjacent? Once they are having common vertex, common arm and non-common arm. Non AB. For this angle AB and for this angle BC. They are what? Non-common arms. Non-common arms are on different sides of common arm. For this angle, common arm is this one. Non-common arms are what? These. And both are where? Both are where? On different sides. Both are on different sides of common arm. Obviously, this is the common. It's one side is this one and other side is this one. So non-common arms are where? On the different sides of the common arms. Clear? Both are not in the same side. One is this side and one is this side. Different sides we are having what? Non-common arms. So adjacent angle is where when once we are having the common vertex, common arm and non-common arms will be what? Different sides. Clear? So then we can say both angle will be adjacent. When sum of both angle, two adjacent angles, sum will be sum of this angle. So angle ABD will plus DBC. Sum of these two angles will be sum equal to sum of ABC. ABC will be equal to sum of both adjacent angles. Clear? Now observe, once we understand the adjacent angle, then we can easily to identify linear pairs of angles. What? Observe, when the sum of two adjacent angles is 180. Observe, adjacent angle. We studied adjacent angles. What it means? Two angles will be adjacent once they are having common arm. Observe, this is one line and this is ray on this ray stands on this line. Clear? This ray stands on this line and we are getting two angles. One is AOC, other one is what? BOC. One is this one, other one is this one. Two angles we are getting and both will be adjacent, yes or no? We will check. For this angle we are having common arm. For this angle we are having this vertex. For this angle we are having this vertex. It means for both angle we are having common vertex, common arm and non-common arm. This is the common remaining. For this angle this is the non-common, this is non-common and non-common arms are where? Different sides of common arm. For this arm we are having non-common is there and both will be where? On the different sides. So what we can say? This angle and this angle will be adjacent. So adjacent angles we studied. So but what about the linear pair of the angles? Once adjacent angles sum is 180 degree. Observe, once we know adjacent angles, clear? Once sum of both angle will be 180 degree, then they are called linear pair of angles. When the sum of two adjacent angles is 180, this and this sum AOC plus BOC, angle AOC plus angle BOC equal to 180. sum of two adjacent angles will be 180, then they are called what? Linear pair of angles. Clear? In which ray stands on in the linear pair of angles 180, it means whatever ray or whatever common arm in adjacent angles will be stand on a line, or what we can say, on a straight line. Line is what? Straight line. Once we are having the straight line, then only we can observe these types of the angles, adjacent angles, linear pair of the angles. Clear? So what about the linear pair of angles? Once adjacent angles sum is 180, automatically we can say what? One ray stands on a straight line, then sum of both angle will be what? 180 degree. Clear? So we studied adjacent angle and linked to this one. This one is what? Linear pair of angles. Now last one, or easy one, vertically opposite angles. When we observed, when we get vertically opposite angles, it means two lines are intersecting. What? If two lines are intersecting each other, then we are getting vertically opposite angles. Two lines, this line and this lines are intersecting. Two lines are intersecting like this. This line and this line are intersecting. Then we are getting what? Vertically opposite angles. And that time vertically opposite angles will be equal. Observe important condition. Once two lines intersect, then we are getting vertically opposite angles, and vertically opposite angles will be what? Equal. This angle AOD, this angle will be equal to this one. Observe. AOD will be equal to BOC. This angle will be equal to this one. Both will be what? Vertically opposite angles. And once we are having vertically opposite angles, they will be what? Equal. Now this and this one, this angle AOC and BOD will be what? Vertically opposite, and they will be equal. So simple. Vertically opposite angles is what? Once two lines will be intersect, then opposite angles, vertically opposite angles will be equal. Clear? So I hope you understand these all things. These all concept, whatever we studied in this introduction part 1 class, I am taking, and in this class what we are studying? Introduction of lines and angles. We are having chapter 6, and this is based on lines and angles. Basic idea about lines and angles we already know, but I want to show all the things which are important for this exercise, coming exercise 6.1, and in the 6.1 we will use these all concepts, and mostly important concept are is what? Linear pair of angles and vertically opposite angles. Both are very important. Only this exercise 6.1 is based on 2 points. Linear pair of angles, this is what? Sum of two adjacent angles will be what? 180 degree. And vertically opposite angles, what? Once two lines intersect each other, then vertically opposite angles will be what? Equal. Only two lines. And our exercise 6.1 we can cover. Clear? And these all things, line, ray, line segment, line, ray, line segment, very basic idea. It is not 9th standard. In the 6th standard, 5th standard, you studied already. Line segment having two end points, ray is having one end points, and one side we can go indefinitely. But in the line, we are not having any end points. We can move indefinitely to both sides. Then the angles, different types of the angles we already studied in the 6th and 5th standard. We know well these things. So I hope you understand these all things. Once you know these things, then we can do what? Exercise questions. So that's all about this class. Thank you so much.